Okay, so this video, I want to walk you through the news article analysis part of this course. So I already know what you're thinking. You're like, dude, Shiting, this class is already killing my schedule here. This class is taking a lot of time. How can you be adding something else? Well, it's just to give you an overview of why my purpose for doing this. Um, you know, many of you are in this class because you're required to take this class, or you're in this class because maybe you want to be an economics major, or maybe you took economics in high school and you want to pursue it a little bit further. Well, one of the important things to do in an introductory course, in my opinion, is to kind of at least start to show you how the course material would be used. How does it make you a better citizen? How does it make you a better person? Not just as supply and demand, but that you could read something and you could try to incorporate stuff from your courses, or your knowledge into that article, and also share your opinion. Now, there's two ways to do this. There's one way where, I create a discussion board and I post a topic, and then it's kind of like a free-for-all, but then actually only the most ambitious of you students will make a posting, and then those of you who are reluctant to do anything either won't feel confident enough in your response, or you won't do it until the very last minute, and then no one benefits from the discussion. So I have decided to do, basically you're going to write 10 short papers, very short papers. And before the word paper starts to disturb you, by short I mean 3 paragraphs. Let's go over the instructions. So, and I'm just basically typing out what I just said to you. Basically, I have found 10 articles from you. All 10 articles I picked from the exact same source, the Wall Street Journal. Now, keep in mind, I think politically, the Wall Street Journal tends to be a little bit more conservative, especially on like the editorial page, but none of this is coming from the editorial page, so it should be relatively balanced. If it's not and it really bothers you, dude, find something else. Find another article and use that as your article if you really don't like it. I really don't care about the politics that is coming out of an article. I actually really care about the economics that's coming out of the article. And to give you an example here, this is the first article. So the first article you're going to have to do is about supply and demand. And what you're going to see here is I picked a sort of a classic discussion here, which would be Valentine's Day, right? And this one's talking about how people from New Yorkers want indoor dining reservations. And so basically you have limited supply and a lot of demand because people haven't been able to go out to eat for a very long time. See right there how you can do an analysis right there. And so basically you're going to read this article, right? Read. Okay. And then having read it, your first paragraph, you're going to summarize the article. We've all read the article, right? So this is not, the bulk of your grade is not based on your summary of the article. You just need to show me that you read it and that you read it thoughtfully. Second paragraph. Now this is the important one. Second paragraph is how you integrate the concepts from the chapter, from the lectures, into that article. And then the third and last, now this is just an idea, right? 3 paragraphs. If you don't like this and you want to do lots of paragraphs, that's fine. But I think this can be quite simple here. The third paragraph, you're going to share with me your own thoughts. You really can't be wrong with this part, right? You could be like, I think it's a bad idea that the state of New York or city of New York City is limiting dining reservations. They should increase demand, right? Or that restaurants should charge dramatically higher. I mean, what I'm just looking for is that you share your thoughts in a meaningful way. And I'm not going to grade you based on the content of your thoughts. I'm going to grade you based on your ability to share those thoughts. Now, I was incredibly reluctant to do this, so just keep that in mind. Because I hate the idea of you having to learn something more. But I'm told that many of you in high school would have used Google Classroom, or that you would have used it for something else. And it, quite frankly, makes it really easy for me to give you comments for improvement. So we're going to use Google Classroom. If you've never used it before, let me talk to you about how to sign up. So go to this website, classroom.google.com. And then you want to make sure that in the upper right hand corner it says you're using your UH login. So let me show you here. So see here, here's the course already, but you can see here's a little T. T stands for me, Thomas. And I can click it and I can see myself here. Now, if I had been using my personal account, it would have looked like this, right? It's kind of a different color T, but I guess it's how Google, sorts out your personal accounts. Yes, this is my personal email address, please. Don't email me. But, right, you just want to make sure you're logged into your correct account, your UH one. Okay? And then what you're going to do is click this little plus sign right here. Create or join a class. So you're going to click that, and you're going to click join class. I don't think yours will say create class. And then it says ask your teacher for the class code. Our class code, which I'll be sharing this document with you, is lowercase GRSMUN4. So put that in. You can just copy and paste it or do whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's just do typed it in. And unless you've got something else going on, this course is going to appear right here. So you're going to click it, and it's going to look like this. Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to click Classwork, because that's really the most important. I don't think you'll see these options. Just pick Classwork. And this is where you're going to see each of the analyses. I try to make this very, very simple. So this first one, let's talk about due dates. This first one is the only one that has an odd due date. And there's only one that has a due date all by itself, and that's this first one. Because this is where I'll be grading it very, very lightly. By that I mean like being very forgiving towards you. And this is where you basically do what you think I'm looking for, and I tell you that's not what I'm looking for, that is what I'm looking for, right? And so this will be the way that you can then guide all the other 9 analyses. So we would, oh sorry, I'm looking at it like an instructor. So you can see here that for each of these I give you the instructions, and I just copy and paste this from that description here just to remind everyone. You'd read that article, and then you're going to see it's going to allow you then to put into here your paper. You can put it into a Google Doc and it'll put it in there. You can do it as a PDF. You can do it as a Word document. You can directly type it in. Google figures it out. And what I then can do is that I can then mark it up, give you the comments for improvement. Now, it'll track your grades in here, but then the TA will transfer those grades over to the Cengage system, just so we can keep kind of all the grades all in one place, and you can organize how you can sort out how you're doing all in one place. Now, I include an example here in this analysis, and this is one I did probably like 2 or 3 years ago. And I had an article about air ambulances, and this is an example of how the student did it. Not that the student did it perfectly, but that it's a pretty good example. And I also thought it was a good example because I can see numerous punctuation errors, English errors, that would make a literature or an English professor cry or scream or something. Keep in mind, I am not an English or literature professor. The last course I took in English was college writing. I need you to write well enough for me to understand what you're saying, but it's not like a missing comma is going to be like, I have no idea what this person's talking about. You know, giant mattress sale. Does it mean one giant mattress, or is that a giant sale? You know, I'll figure it out, right? I mean, misplaced modifiers, you know, let's, you know, like that classic book, Let's Eat Grandma, right? The missing comma would mean that I'm eating grandma, not asking grandma to let's go eat. It's a really good book if you haven't read it. I'm not grading this for punctuation. Do your best to correct things, right? I mean, Word and Google Docs and stuff will fix misspellings and whatnot. Do me that favor at least, but I'm not going to grade anything else more extensively than that. Okay. I hope that gives you enough detail to start this first one. But if you have any questions, let me know.